On today's Toy Spot, we're going to be having a look at the Mattel WWE Series 7. We're going to be looking today at Sheamus. Packaging features a nice picture of Sheamus up at the top corner. Look at that mustache. I guess it's more like a beard. Sheamus. On the back of the package, the other figures in this wave of Series 7, we've got yet another Rey Mysterio. It seems to be consistent. The quota is for every series. There's got to be at least one Undertaker, one Rey Mysterio. Series 7 is no different. We get both a Rey Mysterio and an Undertaker. We also get, of course, Sheamus, Michelle McCool, Kofi Kingston, and Yoshitatsu. Other things available, as you can see down below, a SmackDown, a Raw, and a SummerSlam ring. That's packaging on Sheamus. What we're going to do is we're going to get this opened up, and we will have ourselves a look at the figure. Stay tuned, guys. There's more to come. And as with every other WWE figure from Mattel, you get yourself a standard WWE logo stand. Basic black, nothing really to it. However, much like every other figure that comes from Mattel, you also get yourself a card backing. A little card standee that says Sheamus. Just plug it into the front. You guys have seen this, I'm sure, many times. And just like that, we've got ourselves a carded, a named tagged display stand that says Sheamus. And we'll put that down for a second. Don't adjust your light. Don't adjust your monitors, first of all, thinking that this review is too bright. Most of the light is actually is actually coming from Sheamus. This figure is extremely bright, as it really should be, being that this figure is of Sheamus. For those not familiar with Sheamus, Sheamus is a very pale fellow. He's very pale. And the figure certainly does do justice of showing how pale he really is. And we'll zoom in there. Give you guys a look at his face. Definitely does look like Sheamus, that's for sure. The likeness actually is quite nice. Definitely quite nice. Sheamus utilizes the same body, and pan back here, the same body as some of the other WWE figures released through Mattel. I believe there's only about 3 or 4 body types that they use. Now, I don't know personally, and it might just be my matter of preference, but I find the only problem with this particular body type is it seems very squished. Seems like he's been flattened right around the stomach area, and this whole area here has been flattened. I don't know if I'm necessarily a fan of this particular body type, but it's Sheamus though. His hair is definitely good. I like the sculpt and the paint on the hair, and going back to the face. The face is really good. The face is really nice. It definitely does look like Sheamus. His trunks. And of course the boots, everything about it definitely matches his attire that he wears in the ring. One of the problems I have too, it's not necessarily a big problem, and that's the fact is that the legs, being that the legs have no joint, the legs do bend back and forth, of course, but with the absence of a joint where the legs can spread, I find, at least on the Sheamus here, his legs seem very squished together. Very squished. And had they only simply added this extra joint here, and it's not really a complaint with Sheamus, because I mean, sure, it would be the same with every other Mattel figure, but it's a shame though that they don't have joints here where the legs could actually spread a little out. Then you could at least pose him a little bit better, because as he stands right now, his legs are very close together. Not necessarily a bad thing, but Just something I wanted to point out. In the way of his articulation, Sheamus has a ball-jointed head. You got lots of movement in the head. And he's got ball-jointed shoulders. He's got a swivel in the bicep. He's got a bend in the elbow. And he's got a rotation in the hand as well as a bend in the hand. So you can bend the hand forward and back. He's got a swivel in the waist. A bend in the leg, as I mentioned before. Yeah, I'm leaping if you want. A bend at the knee. A swivel in the boot. A bend at the foot. And I was going to say a mild tilt, but not really. And that in a nutshell, though, is Sheamus. Now, I would say of Series 7, Sheamus probably was the one I was looking forward to getting the most. Now I actually have him. I gotta say, he does live up to, he's definitely worth picking up. Small problems like the torso and the legs are not something I could certainly hold against Sheamus. More so just the figures as a whole. But really, that aside, and that's not a big issue, the figure really is nice. And I'm quite glad I picked him up, actually. So for that reason, Sheamus is going to get, I don't know, let's maybe give him an 8. We're going to give him an 8. An 8 for Sheamus. Today's toy spot, we were having a look at the Mattel WWE Series 7 figures. And today's figure was of the Irish warrior, the Celtic warrior, Sheamus. Sheamus. Thanks for watching, guys. And I will see you guys next time.